Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I sound so extremely hoarse because I was in Gran Canaria for the last 10 days. Well, actually I'm home like a week now and I'm just still really hoarse. I think it's just the change in climates. I don't know why I'm hoarse. I was out there shouting and roaring for 10 days. That's possibly why I can't talk. But today's video is going to be my monthly favorites. Unfortunately, February wasn't really a month of experimenting with new makeup for me. And when I travel, I like to bring things that I know are going to perform properly for me. So a lot of the products you probably would have seen before on my channel. So the first thing I want to talk about are my MAC mineralized skin finishes. This one is in medium golden and the other one's in light. This was a lifesaver for me on holidays. Probably can't tell because I'm sitting in front of a huge window, but I've gotten a pretty good tan for this time of the year. None of my pressed powders are actually matching me. So this one here in medium golden just me perfectly, and it was what I was wearing a lot of over in Gran Canaria. It was covering everything I needed to cover on my skin. I'm totally tongue-tied because I haven't filmed in so long, so I was really loving that. And then obviously the colour light, because I use that to set my under eye. It's been my fail-safe this month. Couldn't have done my makeup properly without these two products because they just were setting it down, and especially in the warm weather I find that my makeup slips and slides. It doesn't set properly. I'm getting really oily, and these just helped to combat that. The next thing I want to talk about, I actually did a video on recently and I will link it down below, but it is the INGLOT cream stick foundations. Now obviously this colour is for somebody who have a darker complexion, but I have been using it to contour because it was like the perfect colour to contour with, and it just worked so well on my complexion. It blends out like a dream. If you want to know how I use these, I will link down that video below. I highly recommend grabbing some of the coverage is amazing. They're really long lasting. They're in stick form, which is just a simple pimple to apply. I mean, I don't like any complex stuff, especially when it comes to cream contouring, because it does take time. You want something that blends out quite nicely, and the INGLOT ones blended out like a dream. The next thing I want to talk about is a lipstick that's actually on my lips today. I don't think I've ever spoken about this. This is MAC's Pure Zen. This beautiful coral shade, and I just think it is sensational. It was literally all I was wearing when I was out in Gran Canaria, and you would have seen that if you're following me on Snapchat. My Snapchat handle is always linked down below. It's just @DramaticMAC. It was so amazing, and I'm sorry about the lighting. What is happening with my life right now? Any day now it was just gonna tone down. So anyway, I was wearing this on my lips all the time in Gran Canaria because it's really moisturizing, really creamy, really soft, really easy to apply, but long lasting as well. I sometimes find that lipsticks that are creamy, they just tend to blur out to nothing after about 5 minutes, whereas this was long lasting. This has popped up in a couple of favorites, I'm sure, over the last while, but it is my Makeup Geek palette, and I brought this to Gran Canaria with me because it literally has everything I needed to achieve any sort of eye look. If I wanted to add a bit of colour, there's a bit of colour there. If I wanted to just go with neutral looks, there was loads of neutrals. It was all I brought with me. I have my black, everything. It was just the only thing that I was reaching for, the only thing I needed, because I can't live without my Makeup Geek shadows. They're just amazing. If you want me to do a video on my favourite Makeup Geek shadows, please let me know. This palette is actually from Fuchsia Cosmetics as well, which is an Irish brand, and you can get it at Fuchsia counters. I don't know anywhere you can buy it online. One shadow that actually like featured in nearly every single look I did was this one down here, which is Cocoa Bear, and I just love it. It's just this beautiful warm brown, and I was wearing it and sporting it every single day or every single evening when I was going out. It is just a fail-safe palette for me and something that I reach for constantly. Nothing else would have done on holidays, and that just really goes to show you how much you love a product when you feel like you can just bring that, feel safe, that you're covered for eyeshadow looks for the entire 10 days. The next thing I want to talk about is actually a new mascara for me, and this is the Rimmel Lash Accelerator Endless Mascara. And I just picked this up in a whim because I was entering the Rimmel competition and I wanted to use Rimmel products and fell in love with it. It has the most amazing small teeny tiny little wand, so it gets right down into your lash line and flicks up your lashes to give them this beautiful volume. When I first tried it I was like kind of underwhelmed by it, but I always am underwhelmed by a mascara when I first try it. It's usually after a couple of attempts or uses of the mascara that it really just kind of emphasizes my lashes, and once it kind of gets a little bit dried out, the formula I mean, then it performs better. It was just the best mascara for me. It just does everything for my lashes, everything that I need it to do for my lashes, and I highly recommend it. I'm so confused as to whether I've ever talked about this pigment before, but this is the INGLOT pigment in 119. This is just insane. I don't know if you can see it there on my hand. just there. It is the most beautiful rose gold shadow that just blends out like a dream. It doesn't fall out down on your face, which annoys me about a lot of pigments that I own, that they're just really difficult to control. I had like a tiny bit of MAC's Fix Plus left, and like towards the end of the holiday I was actually using water to mix with this. I know you shouldn't do that because once the water dries it'll kind of flake off, but this didn't do that. This pigment stayed pretty intact. It looked beautiful on my eyes. I even got compliments on my eyeshadow when I was away, which is like, thank you. I love when you get compliments on your eye makeup. I absolutely love this pigment. I can never put it down. One of my favourite ones, and I highly recommend it if you haven't tried it already. So the next thing I want to talk about is an oldie but a goodie, and without this in holidays I don't know what I would have done. This is NARS's Orgasm, and it looks like that on the inside, and you can clearly see that it is well loved. I wore this every night because it was the only blush that I brought with me. I only ever bring like one blush, like one bronzer, one whatever. The decision of which one to bring is always the most complicated decision ever of life. So the reason why I'm featuring this in my favorites is because it performed with every single makeup look that I did when I was away. It looked incredible with every eyeshadow look. It performed well, it lasted all night, it didn't fade away, and I just love NARS's Orgasm. I know it's a really hyped up product, but in my opinion it's hyped up for a reason, and I love it for that reason. And if you've never tried it, definitely just go in and swatch it in Brown Thomas or something like that and just see what you think of it, because it just works I think on nearly every skin tone. Gorgeous corally pinky type of blush. It's just whatever way the iridescence of this, it just works on everybody's skin tone. So the last product I want to actually talk about is the Magnificent Metals from Stila. So they come in these little pods. They come in these little pots like this, and it's just this beautiful rose gold colour. This one is in metallic dusty rose. I actually brought this away by accident. It was just in my makeup bag and it was an intentional thing, and I found it. I just absolutely love how this performs. I put it in the inner corner of my eye always. It like sparkles and illuminates, and it's really pretty. It's also really nice to put over like a plain, like a matte eyeshadow, just to kind of give a bit of shimmer and twinkle to it. The only thing I will say about this is though you need a mixing medium with it. I use it with Duraline from INGLOT. In order to break it up or to get it to go on smoothly, it definitely needs a mixing medium. So that is one thing that kind of negs me out about it, because I just hate using one product in order to get another one to work properly, if that makes sense. But I mean, it's only Duraline and I always have it in my makeup bag. Anyway, definitely another favourite for this month. Okay guys, a bit of a mixed bag there. I didn't have anything else to talk about. Like I didn't have any unbeauty related products because all I was kind of doing for the last month was just spending time with my friends on holidays, and I didn't buy anything new and I didn't try anything new out, but I'm sure next month there'll be new favourites. But those things that I did mention, I literally couldn't put them down for the entire month because I was contemplating on whether or not to film this video. Then I was like, girl, you just gotta film it, because there's so many products that you wouldn't have been able to do your makeup without this month, and you were loving and reaching for and grabbing and gravitating towards, so I just had to let you know. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I missed you all so much. Like I said, this is like the first video I've filmed since I've come home, and I've just missed you guys so much. I feel like I'm really neglecting my YouTube channel. I tried to upload as much as I could when I was away, but when I came home I went straight to Manchester, so I just didn't get to film. But you guys have been so supportive and so amazing, and we're nearly hitting the 90k mark, which makes me feel really weird because we're nearly at 100,000, and I know when I get to 100,000 I get my play button, and I'm actually dying inside over this. You guys are the most supportive people ever, and I love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching. Mwah! Bye guys!